as you know, it is our practice to recognise from time to time people who have had made distinguished contributions either in the year or in their lives to humanism. The board this year, I'm going to come to this one. The board this year has decided to recognise with a special posthumous award the life, the work and the achievements of our colleague Narendra Dabholkar. A medical doctor by training and profession, Dr. Dabholkar plunged into anti-superstition work in 1983 and built a concrete movement in his home state of Maharashtra. I may not be pronouncing this correctly. He became a central player in the organised rationalist movement within India. He was editor of a magazine devoted to the propagation of progressive thought. He was founder of the Maharashtra Forum for the Elimination of Superstition, which joined IHU, and he served as vice president of the Federation of Indian Rationalist Associations, FIRA, another IHU member organisation. His work over many years confronted and exposed the fraudulent practices of swamis by explaining the science behind so-called miracles, often used to defraud some of the least well-off members of society of their money or possessions. Dabholkar organised travelling troops of activists moving all over the state to disabuse those who might become victims to the fraudsters. And we all, I think, enjoyed the presentations that we've had over the years of that work and learning more about it. As our colleague Narendra Nayak here today wrote for IHU in a tribute to his friend Narendra Dabholkar, he was always busy at his office, attending to visitors, drafting letters and articles and directing his activists. He was such a meticulous planner that the organisation was running a bus with a timetable set for a year in advance to visit schools in villages to spread scientific temper. Narendra Dabholkar campaigned at a political level too, with great erudition, calling for laws to outlaw fraud based on superstition and so-called black magic. With Hindutva right-wing nationalism on the rise, it was obviously almost beyond doubt that it was his political work for which he was ultimately assassinated. On the 20th of August 2013, out on his regular morning walk, Narendra Dabholkar was shot 4 times by 2 men near his home. The murder came a matter of days after the state government had pledged to reintroduce a long-delayed anti-superstition bill which was closely associated with his work and opposed by many right-wing and Hindu nationalist groups as supposedly being anti-Hindu. After 18 years of his campaigning for the anti-superstition bill, and with his murder fresh on their minds, the state government finally enacted the Anti-Superstition and Black Magic Ordinance into law within a matter of days following his death. A tragic legacy, but a legacy nonetheless of his extraordinary life. As we've heard, Narendra Dabholkar is not the only rationalist to have been targeted in India, and not the only rationalist to have been killed either, during the current long-term trend to irrationalism and authoritarianism into which that country is still plunging. But we don't want to see his death simply in retrospect as a warning sign. We want to remember his whole life and his work as an act of courage. He once protested in the face of the threats that he was receiving against his life. I'm fighting within the framework of the Indian Constitution, and it is not against anyone, but for everyone. It is this universalism, this great humanism, which his attackers and his opponents failed to comprehend, and is what we want to remember him for. A campaign now exists to take the anti-superstition and black magic law through which his sweat and blood he brought into being in his state and replicate it at the national level. To criminalise fraud and abuse of the godmen and to protect their innocent victims. I'm sure everyone here will support this campaign. We're looking for ways that IHU can support that campaign more in the future. And today we want to honour Dr. Narendra Dabholkar with this special 2017 Distinguished Services to Anti-Superstition Award, which our board member from Asia, Uttam, will now accept and take back in order to visit India and present it to his colleagues.
Well, friends, I have to thank you on behalf of Maharashtra Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti, of which my friend Narendra Dabholkar was the president. He was cruelly assassinated 4 years back this month, August, 20th of August. And he was killed by those people who wanted him out of the way for having proposed an anti-black magic and inhuman practices act. It was not an anti-superstition act, because you cannot legislate away superstitions. They can be taken away only by education, the proper type of education which you don't get in our country. And Narendra Dabholkar was my vice president for 2 years. And his one little ambition was, last time we met he told me, that I have organized conferences at the district level, state level, national level. I would like to organize an international conference. How do I go about it? By the time, we could never go about it because he was killed. So it is something that's happening in our country today, where rationalists, humanists are being eliminated by a process which, by certain groups who are realized very well who are their opponents. Because the Hindutvawadis, the extremists, they know very well that if a Muhammad opposes them, or if a Peter opposes them, it's easy to brand them and say that he is a Muslim, he is a Christian. But when a Narendra says that, it's very difficult for them to oppose it on those grounds just by labeling somebody as something. So that's why they've taken a resolution that they'll eliminate all the people who are secular, humanists, and happen to be born in the same community where they want to build up the extremist elements. On behalf of Maharashtra Andhashraddha Nirmoolan Samiti, I thank you very much for remembering Narendra Dabholkar, even though it maybe after 4 years that he was killed. After that, one more was killed, Pansare, Govind Pansare, and then 2 years back, one more. His name was M.M. Kalburgi. And Kalburgi was killed just because he distinguished between two religions. I mean, two castes. I mean, it's a bit complicated to explain. Yeah. But they wanted him out of the way. Yes, Farooq was killed for apostasy. That was 6 months back. Because he was a Muslim who denounced God. He left Islam and he went away. He was called out by his own friends and finished off. 3 years before that, one man's arm was amputated by Muslims because he made a question paper in which there was something about Muhammad. So these are the circumstances which we are facing in our country, and we are prepared to face it because there is no way out. We cannot run away from these problems. We have to face them. We have to make our people think, particularly the younger generation, so that at least things will be better in the coming days. So thank you very much for giving me all this attention. And once again, on behalf of Maharashtra Nirmoolan Samiti, I thank the IHU for remembering it. By the way, Maharashtra Nirmoolan Samiti is also a member of the IHU.